Curtis, this is, I suppose, a key bit of the build-up, isn't it? There's a lot of talking to be done before you get to do the act itself, isn't there?
Yeah, I've just had about my 5th glass of water because I haven't stopped talking for the last hour. So, yeah, it's part and parcel. Obviously, we know that what the FA Cup brings as players. We know how much it means to us, but we obviously know the worldwide, global market. They want to see this game, and even though it's us, Hull City against Arsenal, it's still one of the biggest individual games in world football, and everyone's looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's a different sense. There's a sense of occasion around it, isn't it? You look in the room's full, loads of cameras and all the rest of it. It's something different.
It is, because, like I say, usually when we do the league ones, obviously you get people, and obviously it's more of a getting a job done. But with here, it's sort of it seems more like a fun day that everyone's looking forward to it. Everyone's looking forward to the game, looking forward to what we've got to say about it, and hopefully we don't disappoint you and give you a good show.
Where does this rank in your career in those terms?
Well, if I win it, it'll be the best, like without a doubt. Obviously, up to now, my best achievement was still winning League One with Luton, and I still believe that was a great achievement. But to win an FA Cup is the stuff you actually dream of. To play in an FA Cup final is one thing. That's a dream accomplished, I guess. But once you get there, I've said to you on a number of occasions, you want to win it, and I'm just hoping that we've got enough on the day to do that.
And it's the walk up the steps. It must be tantalising, that.
Yeah, well, you do the walk up the steps nowadays either way, don't you? But obviously just hope it's a happy walk rather than a few pats on the back saying well done, thanks but no thanks sort of thing. So we're hoping that it could be a happy walk, and particularly being the captain, it's obviously again another thing that potentially I could lift that trophy. So I need to keep thinking about that, because if I start visualising it and keep staying confident, believing I can do it, then hopefully the rest of the lads will buy into that as well.
I mean, given your form going into the final, given Arsenal's recent form, their prestige, history, tradition and all the rest of it, there won't be that many in that global audience giving you much of a chance, I don't think, on Saturday, will there?
No, I don't think there would be, and even if the shoe was on the other foot that we'd won 5 on the bounce and Arsenal had lost 5 on the bounce, I still think Arsenal would have been the favourites. So for ourselves, that we knew that was always going to be the case, whatever form we were taking in. But like I say, on the day we could play very poorly and still win. So if you keep a clean sheet, win with a dodgy own goal, then we'd take that because you still lift the cup. So it's one of those things. It's football. You've obviously got your favourites. You've got your underdog, and for the first time in this competition this year, we've been the underdog. So fingers crossed that works better for us at Wembley than it did being the bigger dog against Sheffield United. And like I say, hopefully we can spring a surprise for everyone.
David Myler mentioned the stirring words. Were they stirring? I don't know. Anyway, the words that you had with the players at half time in that game against Sheffield United. Do you need to do something similar this weekend?
I'm hoping not. Basically, obviously it's one of those things you take each thing as it comes, and it's like I said that when we played Arsenal in the league and we were 2-0 down, I don't think we were far off it. So just because I've gone in and shouted and hollered after that Sheffield United first half, it doesn't mean I'm going to do it for every game, because you judge each game as it comes. But if I feel that we're not putting in the effort and we are basically doing the simple things wrong, then obviously happily will do that. But it's one of those things that only comes natural at the time when you feel that strongly. And if I honestly kept telling you that I'm going to do it every week, then I'd be a liar.
That's one. World Cup squad yesterday, you weren't in it. I don't think you're expecting to be in it, but this is a showpiece event. Yeah. The world is watching. Does it give an extra little point to prove potentially on that basis?
No, I think what I've said all along is it's a 38-game season. So it's a 38-game season. You've done what you've done over 38 games. You've either played well, or been judged to have played well, or judged to have played poorly. I'm quite happy with how my 38-game season went, and I'm hoping it finishes on a high with this FA Cup. But to say one game, if you're going to go by one game, then like I say, there's loads of individual games I've done well, which I could say, oh yeah, that was a great game. But at the end of the day, like I say, I think it's more key to do well in 38 games than to do well in one.
Curtis, how much have you enjoyed your first season as a Hull City player?
It's been brilliant. As obviously coming into the squad, a promoted side, you obviously expect it to be very tough, which it was. But I knew that the ability we had in the changing room, the lads we had in the changing room as well had the character that we'd be able to do good things in this league. And I just feel that the signings we made in terms of Livermore and Huddleston at the beginning were key, because they gave us that different dimension of how we were going to play. And then obviously in January the signs of Yellowbitch and Long, the goals they've got towards the back end have been a difference. And like I say, without those goals we might not have been in this league.
You've only been here a season, you seem to be such a good, I might use it, happy family. Are you a happy family?
We are. I think it's a surprise that you don't actually feel like there's been that much of a turnaround of players. It feels like everyone's always been there, or you've always been with these people. But when you actually look at it on paper, like you've obviously had myself, Maynor Figueroa, Alan McGregor, Huddleston, Livermore, Yellowbitch, Long, Sagbo. There's a long list of people that have actually come in this year. So it is strange that we've clicked so well. But I think it's just the quality of the characters in the change room that, like I say, they see that I've said before, we've come into this change room to join them. We've not come to take them over. And fair play to a lot of them, they've taken us in with open arms.
What are your memories of the FA Cup growing up?
Main memories, like I said, I'm Manchester United finals really. I grew up a Man U fan. So the first real memory would be the 94 Cup final, the 4-0 win. And then obviously the year after that was the loss to Everton, 1-0, and then the year after that was the win against Liverpool. So those are my sort of highlights, I guess, as a fan. And like I say, I'm hoping that we can sort of emulate the Gaffer's success that he managed to have in that 94 and 96 and forget about that 95 one.
Remember him playing here?
Yeah, obviously, because he was the captain as well, so he got to lift the trophy, and I hope to emulate what he'd done there.
And approaching this game against Arsenal as underdogs and looking forward to the prospect of this global audience, what are your preparations going to be like this week?
I think you just have to try as much as you can, treat it like another game, because I think if you you go out of your domain that you've done all year, that it's got to this point, and you start overthinking things, then it could really work. You never know, but it could take away from what you've got. So our game plan is to, obviously we've had our meetings, we've addressed how Arsenal are going to play, we've addressed how we want to play, and it's just about doing the hard work on a training pitch now, getting ourselves prepared for every individual person's job, so that on the day whoever's selected, because we've not just got an 11 now, we've got 22 players doing these different jobs, so they know on the day if it is them that's called, they know what to do. And it's important that we know our jobs, that on the day we can give Arsenal a good game and like I've said, hopefully cause an upset.
First FA Cup final, I've seen you around this year, your meetings with the fans, supporters club meeting, what you did at the hospital there, talking about that young lad, and here we are. What are your senses giving you from the supporters' point of view?
I said from the semi-final, I wasn't really expecting that pitch invasion then, but it just shows that how much that semi-final, getting to a semi-final for the club, obviously it had been 80 years since the club had reached a semi-final, so that was massive for the fans. And then we knew obviously once we got to the final, things were going to erupt even more. And we got to the final. I said I'll be down the gym. I'll have guys coming up to me mid-workout, sort of, oh, good luck Saturday, wanting to shake your hand. And it's a strange thing. Even like I'll be having a coffee, and a lady that doesn't really look like a football fan, her son might have nudged her and said, oh, he plays for Hull, and she'll come over and say, oh, good luck Saturday, good luck at Wembley, we'll be there or something. And it's just the feel-good factor around the town really. So whatever we can bring from getting to the final is one thing, but to win it, I'm hoping that the town will be celebrating for years to come.
Well, we're looking forward to that. Finally, have you got a new sideboard for all your awards?
I'm just proud to have obviously won them all, and obviously I've had that joke a few times, but like I say, it's one of those things. I come to the club and I wanted to do well, and obviously to do well individually is one thing, but I wouldn't have been happy to have done well individually if we didn't stay up, and obviously the fact that we've stayed up and got to a cup final, is a massive honour, and that's the bigger honour of what we've done as a team. But individual accolades obviously always feel nice, because for mainly the players to have voted for me, that see me day in, day out, that was a massive achievement for myself. But for obviously the fans and all the respected supporters clubs to have voted me as their players of the year was a great achievement.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Curtis, does the experience of the semi-final, do you think that'll help the team a lot going into the actual final?
I'm really hoping so, because I think the occasion's out of the way now of Wembley. I think no one will be going into Wembley and be like, oh wow, look at these change rooms, look at the stand, So I'm hoping that side's out of it. So hopefully we can just go there and enjoy a game of football. So because I think in the first 15 minutes against Sheffield United particularly, we never really rose to the occasion. We seemed a bit edgy, and Sheffield United, I guess, used the underdog side and sort of just went for the throat early on, and it worked well for them. But obviously, once we got to grips with the whole idea that we're playing at Wembley, it's a semi-final, our quality started to show. But I'm hoping from minute one on Saturday we're able to show our quality and be dogged, because we know playing against Arsenal, we're not going to go toe-to-toe with them, we're not going to pretend, but we know that we are a good football club, and if we're able to keep them quiet when we do get the ball, hopefully we can cause them a few problems as well.
And have you dreamt and imagined what that feeling would be like if you win and you climb the steps?
I'd be lying if I said I hadn't, but yeah, it's just, like I say, you're one game away from it. It's a 50-50 game. As the old cliche says, they've got 2 arms, 2 legs. Fair enough. Two brilliant legs on a lot of them. But it's like I say, it's a game of football. Anything can happen. You'll play a game, you'll play brilliant, and you can lose a game. You can play really poorly and win a game. So, however, if it were possible we could get a win, I wouldn't really care, because as long as we get to lift that cup, I'll be delighted.
And there's not too many players in the squad who have won trophies in the past. Does that make everyone more determined? This is such a big opportunity.
I think it would add that little edge, I guess, but I think your determination, whether you'd won 10 of them, I think you look at, like I say, the likes of the Ryan Giggs, and obviously he's a different breed, but in terms of people that have won lots of things, they want more. They're always aspiring to get that next one. So as much as none of us have won anything, I think the hunger will be there anyway. But at the same time, I think with the Arsenal lads, because a lot of them have been here for years, some of them haven't won much. So it'll be interesting going against an Arsenal team that you can say, well, actually, this one hasn't won something, this one hasn't won something, this one. So we have to go and compete with that as well. So it will near enough be a level playing field in terms of that.
Because your old club Birmingham, they did topple Arsenal in the final. That was the League Cup, but like you say, the expectations that mounting on their players, everyone for 10 years, 11 years, whatever it is now. So yeah, hopefully that'll work in your favour.
Yeah, we hope so, but it's still a great football club and a great football team. So we can hope that their fans turn up, expect to win. We start to frustrate them. The fans hopefully get frustrated. Frustration goes through to Arsenal, and they end up playing some sloppy football. But I'm not too sure with the players they've got, because they've got some good quality throughout their side. So it's all about us on the day. If we're able to apply our job and do our job, then hopefully we won't have to come down to their fans getting edgy and ratty and things like that. So hopefully we can show a bit of quality ourselves and win the game for ourselves.
You played them not so long ago as well in the league. You'll need a better performance this time around.
Yeah, of course. I've touched on the fact that first half, I don't think we were far off it, if I'm honest. I know we went in 2-0 down, got sucker punched with 2 brilliant. One was a typical Arsenal goal in terms of quick passing football, one-touch football. Ramsey gets the goal, and the second one was actually quite surprising. It's quite direct, and then Podolski got the volley. But we had the better chances in the first 20 minutes, and if that's the fine margins in football. If we were able to take one of those chances, we set up in a different way, and it's always better protecting a lead than chasing a deficit. So if we're ever able to get a lead in the game on Saturday, I'm sure you'll see a different team.
And I guess because it's fresh in the mind, that might help you a little bit. You kind of see what they're all about. You've gone toe-to-toe with them.
Yeah, that's it. Like I say, I think if you'd have to be on the moon to not know what Arsenal are about anyway. But the fact, like I say, we've played them last week, and we know we've learnt from those mistakes, and we can analyse those mistakes. We can watch them, we can watch the clips back, and we can see where we went wrong. So hopefully going into the next game we'll try to basically eradicate those mistakes for ourselves and limit their attacking options, and hopefully by that they'll then get drawn out, and we can play our counter-attacking football that has served us well against the big teams this season.
So as you go back to that semi-final against Sheffield United, that first half performance, as you said, it wasn't anywhere near the standard you set yourself. But when you play at that high tempo, like you came out after the break, you know, yes, you caused Sheffield United problems, but I think you caused a lot of teams problems that way.
Yeah, of course. I think if you've got a determination and a confidence in your play, it doesn't matter who you're playing, because they won't touch the ball. But we need to take that from minute one, that when we have got the ball, we need to be bold enough to keep it, because if you give Arsenal the ball, keep getting it back to them, defending against Arsenal for 90 minutes is tough. And like I say, I just hope that when we do get the ball, we're able to do something with it and pose a threat, because I'd sooner our striker be the man of the match for scoring a hat-trick than be the defender making last-ditch tackles and things like that every 2 minutes to keep us in the game.
Curtis, have you, as a playing group, talked about what we can achieve last year in the FA Cup final? Is that something you can draw extra?
Not as a playing group, not as a group. Obviously, it's there, it's in history, and we all really know about it, and we know how they managed to achieve it, but we haven't as a group really sat down and sort of tried to draw on that experience. But I think we'd be silly if you didn't really think about it, because, like I say, talking about the Birmingham incident of the Carling Cup, I was there, and even though I wasn't involved, I was around the lads, and the preparation and determination they showed on the day was brilliant. So if we can match that, because sometimes it is those fine margins where if we haven't got the ability of an Arsenal, which for all due respect we haven't, we need to be better at something else. So if we're able to show that little bit more determination, that little bit more hunger, hopefully it falls in our favour.